Hello fellow guitar geeks! In this video I'm taking a look at this, the new Axis Flanger from Carl Martin. I'll be going over the features, checking out the sounds, and letting you know if I think you should buy it or not. But first, let's hear what it sounds like as quickly and as concisely as possible in my top 5 tones. Hopefully those were some satisfactory whooshy noises for you, and my favourite use of flanger is when it's very, very subtle. So I like the big whooshiness where you can really hear that it's swooping and whooshing around. How many times can I say whooshing in one video? But I also love that subtle, clean tone and then just that little bit of flange on top just to give the guitar some movement. And for me, currently, that is where this Axis Flange is excelling. What's in the box? Some little rubber feet, and a warranty card, a pedal in a bag, and the pedal, which is very purple and shiny. It's called the Axis Flanger, but it's based on the classic flange, an older pedal from Carl Martin. It's been rehoused, repurposed, redesigned, and rejuvenated, I guess. And I know it's normally a little bit early in the video to do this, but I have to point out something I don't like about the pedal right now. And that is the fact that you can't see what is going on with these labels. Normally, I have the pedal flat on a table just there. And now you can see I've got it on this little riser, because if I put it flat, you can't see the labels. And I don't have massively bright lights in my studio, but I can't see that when I'm talking to you. So I had to, of course, I memorized what the labels are. But if you were on stage, you'd need to know what is written on there. You can't read it, and that is extremely frustrating, and thankfully it's only got 4 knobs. I normally love sparkly things, but this white writing here should be black or grey or something like this so you can actually see what you're doing. That's very frustrating. So if I make any mistakes in this video, it's because I can't see what the knobs say. Well, possibly it's because I can't see what the knobs say. I might make some mistakes of my own volition. But there we go, back on that little riser just there, should put it in the right place so you can see the knobs and labels, so can I. Where was I? Yes, it's 139 euros, which is definitely not a cheap pedal, but it is certainly not one of the most expensive pedals going around at the moment. I guess because they've redesigned a circuit, I guess some R&D has gone into it, or a fair amount. It still doesn't scream exciting pedal to me though, from the looks. From the sounds, I don't use a flanger that often, if I'm honest, and where I fell in love with this kind of flangey sound is that clean, with reverb, this tone. So Fender Deluxe Reverb back there, Nick Johnston's signature Schecter Strat style guitar, and I've got the settings here a bit more subtle. Let's put it on the neck pickup, and I like this sound. Play that without that flanger on. And I think that's just a little bit of added prettiness. Maybe that wasn't subtle enough, by the way, but I was trying to show you the sound of the pedal. And I like it when you can almost not hear that the pedal's there. It's one of those little garnishes you put on your tone source. You know, it's not a huge chili that you throw in there and change the source completely like a fuzz pedal. It is one of those little, little sprinkle of tone. It's a top-mounted pedal, so we've got in, out, and 9 volts at the top. Then we've got 4 knobs, which are speed and depth and pre-delay and feedback and an all-important foot switch to switch it on and off. The foot switch, by the way, is nice. It's one of those, it's not a soft touch, but it isn't one of those massive clunk. The depth of which I'm pressing it is not much. It feels more expensive than it probably is. Anyway, speed is how fast you whoosh. Depth is how deep you whoosh. Pre-delay, Carl Martin says, changes the flavor of the flanger. So we'll play with that in a moment. And feedback goes from, not very much, so more sort of subtle to more in-depth, audible, definite flanging. Before I started making the video, one of the fun things I did was make the pedal self-oscillate. So there's no signal coming from the guitar. Let's make some noises. Okay, so it self-oscillates if you do that. And generally speaking, when I was playing with the pedal, when I put the feedback up too high, it already just started self-oscillating, which could be fun, put into a massive room of reverb. Can I do that? But let's put that feedback at about 50% and play around with these knobs. Let's put everything at 50%, shall we? So 12 o'clock, and see what that sounds like. So if I turn that way, it should make it more subtle. And this way, more obvious. Okay, I like it. So for my preference, I would put it there. And by the way, I guess it's called the Axis Flange. I guess, I can't be 100% sure, that it's somehow related to Eddie Van Halen. And Eddie Van Halen has there's a guitar called the Axis from Music Man. There's a link there. That's the link I found. Anyway, right, so I'm going to set the feedback back to about halfway, and we're going to play with the speed. So slower speed to the left. So starting to chorus up and starting to almost tremolo there. And then depth, if we push the depth and the speed right up, we're going to get super whooshingness. So far, the pre-delay is doing the least amount of work. It says it changes the flavor or the character of the tone. I'm not hearing much because I haven't really focused on it. So I'm going to focus on it now. Doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot. Am I right there, or is that just are my ears really that bad from playing so much guitar today? I'm really not sure. Let me know in the comments section if you're hearing any difference. I've played a lot of guitar today and mixed a lot of stuff, and I'll be honest, my ears are a little bit tired, so maybe it's doing something, maybe it's doing nothing. Maybe I need to put it on some overdrive. It's doing something there, but I don't know what it is. Hey, Editing Andy here. I was just editing the video and came to that part where I couldn't figure out what the pre-delay did, and I wasn't happy leaving it there. I don't think that it's fair on you, me, or Carl Martin to not dive into that further. So, to see if it actually is doing something and what it's doing, I've decided to put a tone generator through it. This is the sine wave at 440 Hz. Let's turn the pedal on. And first let's just self-oscillate, just for fun. Wobbly jelly. Put that back to somewhere predictable. And now let's play with the pre-delay. Now I can hear it. I can hear the difference. It's more wobbly on the left. Okay. I was wrong. I'm convinced the pre-delay is doing something. It's just extremely, extremely subtle, at least when I was playing it. Back to Andy in the past. Go away, amp. I think for €139, it's one of the cheaper pedals that is not a cheap pedal. So a cheap pedal, I would argue, is anything now, in 2022, between, well, up to, let's say, €70, $70. I think anything up to that price is cheap. Then you've got super cheap, like below 50, below 40, which is ridiculous. But you can pick up some Behringer pedals for that price, and some Joyo pedals as well, and some Donner, and some Sonic Cake, and all that. They are super cheap. I would call now, this is an affordable. I hate the word cheap. People don't like that word. It implies low quality. Affordable, I think, and then affordable implies that you have the money to buy it. And if you can't buy it, then you're €139 is not a lot for a pedal. Fight me in the comments, but it isn't. It really isn't. And I don't know if this would go on my board. I do know that I like that subtle flanging. What I really want to do is open it up and have a look inside. I've heard enough. I've definitely heard enough. Maybe, hopefully you have as well. I'm going to need to take these jacks off as well. Right, let's have a look. What's happening inside? Quite a lot. Quite a lot indeed. So the soldering job looks clean, looks tidied up. It smells of solder. It smells quite nice, actually. Yeah, the sweet smell of electronics. What we got inside is a mixture of small SMD parts and big non-SMD parts. I don't know what you'd call a non-SMD part. A big MD? BMG? D? No, they fitted this, what used to be a larger... Hang on. There's a trim pot inside. That there, just... Hang on, where is it? There's a little pokey thing. That is a trim pot. I wonder if that adjusts anything that's... I don't know. Carl Martin, let me know what that trim pot does. I could... Oh, come on, let's take the rest of the pedal apart. Right, trim pot. That is the whole circuit board, of course. There's quite a lot going on, and these... It's very well made. It says version 2 down there. Can you see that? Let's plug it back in without the casing and see what it does. Don't kill me. And then see what happens if I turn that trim pot. Because I wasn't told not to turn the trim pot. So, amp back on. Guitar back on. Now, of course, it's going to have some issues because it's not properly in the case. So let's turn everything up to get some real whooshiness. And now let's mess with the trim pot. I need a different screwdriver there. Right, what are you going to do? Oh, I think I just broke the pedal. It's a fuzz! I don't know what I've just done, but I've turned it into a fuzz. I'll turn that back down again. Probably an internal gain or level or something. I don't know what that trim pot does, but if you like fuzzes that are also flanges that sound broken, try turning your trim pot. And you get to do it again. All the way up kills it. I'm really sorry, Carl Martin, what I've done to your pedal, but that was interesting at least. Yeah, it's a level. It's some kind of level. And I've got it too hot. Oh, there, it also fuzzes as well. So it's a bias. Whoops. Right, I think it's back where I started. I will check the video before I put it back together and make sure that it is where it started, and then we can say goodbye. I think you can probably tell that I'm not over enthusiastic about this, and the main reason is that because I can't see that writing, I don't love the pedal to begin with. I feel like it's already fighting me because I can't see it. You know what I mean? Like just holding it in the right place so you guys can see it is hard. And because there's that barrier between me and the pedal, then I have an issue trusting it. That's an awful thing to say probably, but it's the truth. And I think the sounds are nice. I'm not the sort of Eddie Van Halen player that might use this to the ultimate capabilities of the pedal. I like that soft little washy sound. I think that's brilliant. And judging by the build quality and the way that it's put together, it looks like it's made very, very well. I just can't get over that shiny purple not being able to see it malarkey. So if they were to redesign this with a better look, then I would have a much more fun time with it. So if you like the sounds and you find one yourself and you plug it in and it sounds great, of course I can't really argue with the sounds, but as the whole pedal experience, this one definitely would not go on my board for the pure reason that I wouldn't be able to see it on stage. Shame. Okay, you've reached the end of the video, which means you are firmly in the end of the video club, and to prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite, when you leave a comment below telling me either what I did wrong about this or if you agree with me, please also include the phrase, Axis of Awesome. And that'll let me know that you watched this part, and it'll make me chuckle and laugh and bring back my good feeling about the fact that I can't see something that's purple with white writing on it. Right, thank you to Carl Martin for sending this out and for sponsoring the video, making it possible for me to bring this to you. There are more videos over that side of the screen, and there's a subscribe button just down there. Lots for you to do. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.